Hello everyone, welcome to today's trading session. Today is 22nd of March 2024, and let's firstly check the economic calendar. So on the economic calendar, we can see we have no high impact news drivers. There is nothing for USD, only this one for medium, but that's later in the session, so it doesn't impact us. So we have nothing to expect. So let's see how the market will behave. But let me check for now. Yes, and let's start doing some review from the higher time frame. On the weekly chart, we can see we had huge expansion during this week, and we are still kind of in the top portion of the week. So realistically to say if we are going to continue higher or if we are going to retrace, I'm not sure, as we already have kind of a retracement. So let's try to check on the daily chart, and on ES we have this huge buy side inefficiency, or let's say buy side imbalance, and also there is a volume imbalance in here where we already traded. So on the daily chart we traded into this volume imbalance, and now I'm seeing ES is starting to maybe have a sensitive reaction here, and maybe it will reach higher. We will need to see. On the 4-hour chart, it also dig into this buy side inefficiency, and I will need to log in because it logged me out. So once again, checking the 4-hour chart. I'll put this here. Sell side is going to be here. On the 4-hour, we have traded inside this bigger buy side inefficiency. On the 1-hour chart, we are trading inside this 1-hour fair value gap. There is a plenty of room where it can go. I quite like this 1-hour fair value gap, so I'm going to highlight it. But we are also trading inside this 1-hour CB. So also as last time, we had the fair value gap like this mentioned, and we had really like a strong reaction from that imbalance, and it went basically in the same direction. It respected the 50% and it went lower from that point. So let's see if maybe we will see the same today. But I'm still not trying to hold any strong bias. We also traded inside this 15-minute fair value gap. And I quite like these highs. I'm not sure if we can basically take this as a liquidity sweep, because it was not really that much. So this potentially can be a buy side liquidity in case we are going to draw there. It's still quite nice move. So that's what I can see on the 15-minute chart. On the 5-minute chart, we're just trading inside this price lag. We are probably going really close to the 50% to the equilibrium. So it's going to be difficult to say what I favor from the market. So probably I will just need to wait for 9:30 and to see what the market tells us, where it's going to head first, and if we will have any good opportunity for a trade idea. So I'll go straight into NASDAQ. I will need to delete a lot of things from yesterday. I will not need it anymore. Also the opening range, as it was repriced, so it's not significant for me anymore. These two highs are showing me like a really nice buy side liquidity. These are equal highs, which a lot of times they act as a strong liquidity pool where the market will draw. Also similar case, we have lows over here, also imbalance here, where NASDAQ already traded down and is now probably going back up. So this 4-hour fair value gap is no longer valid for me. So let's start from the higher time frame. So same as ES, in terms of the candle for the week, we can see that we had a strong bullish week, but it's now starting to retrace a bit. But compared to ES, this candle is in much lower, let's say, price range rather than ES, because as we can see on ES, the candle is much higher compared to the previous weeks, compared to NQ. Like NQ is still, for these weeks, just within the same price range. So on the daily chart, we can see this is pretty similar with ES. We have a volume imbalance, which has been traded too. And now we are going higher. I'm on NQ, I'm going to probably mark it just so I can know where is the... I'm trying to think how will I mark it, with what colors, but I will probably just leave it blue. Just so I know that there is here the BC, the fair value gap on the daily chart. And if we are going to drop down, I want to make a note of it in case it will trade inside and maybe have a reaction from the upper portion and we will go the opposite side. And that could be a potential for looking for longs, but that's just what is my thought process right now. On the 4-hour chart, we also traded inside this buy side imbalance, but it is really a huge price lag, so it's tough to say where it can draw to and have a reversal, or if we can just go lower and lower. So for now, we are also trading in the same CB as ES, so I will mark it for sure. Here is also a nice fair value gap on the 1-hour chart, so I'll make a note of all of them. So that's what I can see on the 1-hour. On the 15-minute, also trading inside this fair value gap right now, traded inside this buy side imbalance. We are respecting it. And it's also in the midpoint of the daily volume imbalance. There are a few things which can say that we will continue going higher. I'm also noticing this fair value gap, which I really like too. 15-minute fair value gap. I really like this one because I think there is still some liquidity pool on the buy side resting here. And if the market will draw higher, this is a really nice potential zone for profit taking, or maybe seeing some reaction for the market going down. I'm not sure if I would like to look for shorts in this area or if I would require this buy side liquidity to be swept. But as again, we are in a range which is very close to the all-time high. I don't know if I want to look for shorts. I think I should be still, before the market shows us really that it's bearish, I should probably still look for just longs. But I will see. It depends on what the market tells us. I'm looking at the 30-second chart, and I'm seeing that there was a really nice opportunity to go long. But I would probably even get stopped out because there is also another case, or probably two. There are two different setups to take the 30-second fair value gap, and both of them would be not profitable. Once this candle took all these lows, that's when it started going higher, and that's where the model was. So probably I would be in a losing position over here, because I would for sure went from the first one. But most of the time I'm not entering before 9:30, so I will probably just wait for 9:30 and see what the market will do. So for now, I will probably just wait for the 9:30 and see what the market shows us. So for now, we have just this inefficiency. There is also the 5-minute fair value gap, which was nicely repriced. So on the 5-minute, nothing else really that stands out. So here are just a few things that I'm seeing. Also really similar to ES. The buy side liquidity here, and then the 50-minute fair value gap. There's a sell side in here, but this is not really that much of a price move. For sell side liquidity, I would rather want these lows. These lows actually looks really nice for a sell side liquidity. I'm going to mark this low. These are very, very close to each other. Oh, this is trend line, sorry. I was thinking why it doesn't show up my settings. So this is a really nice liquidity pool for sell side. I'm liking this a lot, but I think this is too far. Yeah, this is 300 handles. I don't think we are going to draw there today. But I'm thinking, what should I demand when it comes to what kind of side I would want to favor and where would I like to look for setups. This is a potential area where I can look for longs. There are some inefficiencies as well, but how I build my model is basically I'm trying to take a trade once a sell side liquidity or buy side liquidity is taken out, and it's not like one of these kind of let's say swing lows are formed. Is 40 handles. I'm not sure if that's enough for a sweep or if I would need to demand more of a lower sell side liquidity sweep, but the closest one that I can really spot as a significant sell side liquidity is right here. This is really nice. So yeah, let's see what the market will shows us where it wants to go. For now, I will just need to watch it. If there will be anything interesting, I will point it out or just write on the chart. But for now, we will just spectate. So far, I'm seeing that we are not doing much movement for the few minutes after the market opened. We just went back and forth inside still the opening range, But we had SMT on the highs with ES, but we also have SMT on the lows. So there is SMT on both sides, so that's why I'm not trying to pick any side. But we have touched this fair value gap right now, and there is also fair value gap on the 1 minute. So let's see if we will have any reaction from this area. If the market will take out these highs, as it was not able to on the 930 and 931. Or if we can target them once the sell side liquidity will be swept. But I'm not sure if it will happen now because we traded inside the 5-minute fair value gap already. And it might have a nice reaction from here. But I'm not sure yet. And I think my screen just lagged. This was also happening yesterday. I'm not sure what's wrong with the charts. And this is just a few times that it happened. It didn't happen before at all. So I'm really just confused what's going on, but it works now, so hopefully there will be no technical issues. And it lagged again. I'll try to wait. Maybe it will fix itself. I'm not sure. But I wonder if that's the problem with TradingView. I think it's not a problem with TradingView because I'm seeing on my other monitor that I have also the chart lagged, and I have Trade of 8, the platform itself, and it lags there too. I'm not really sure why that happens. But we are still quite in the range. But we are also trading inside this 1 hour fair value gap. And we have traded only in the lower portion. So I'm not sure if we will be respecting it. Because we are also traded in the lower 25%. And not even coming back to the 50%. So let's see. I'm not trying to build any strong bias yet. I will need to demand more from the market. And even to think if we are going to sweep these highs and favor some short, I'm not sure. For now, it's quite in a tough condition. We have touched the 1 hour fair value gap again, and also the opening range. On ES, we have again touched the midpoint of the 1 hour CB. So for now, there is nothing that I can really confidently say what's going to happen. We just need to wait. There is also nothing on the 30-second charts for now. Really nothing. It's still staying in range. We almost had SMT with ES and NASDAQ on the highs. Okay, we have no SMT. They both did the same. So now we have swept these highs, right? Just barely. So let's see if this means something or if we are going to go higher or if we are going lower. Potentially this could be a nice opportunity to go short, just because we traded again into 1 hour fair value gap. And also around here is the 25% of the opening range gap. But I'm not really sure if this is enough for me to say we are going down. Even though there is still some opportunity to go lower. Also on the higher time frame, we have the daily fair value gap, which starts here. Also the 15-minute, I think this is 1 hour. Yeah, this is 1 hour fair value gap. But it is really tough for me to pick what side of market I would like to favor. But as we swept the high, we can see the market is immediately trying to retrace and go lower. I'm not sure if that will tell us anything. I will probably have a fair value gap, but I'm not sure if I want to try it. Actually, I'm checking on NQ contract, and on NQ contract we have SMT. I think I will enter on this trade. So the fair value gap starts at 527. So I'm going to enter this trade actually. Just because I had SMT, so I'm favoring this trade. Not only that, but I'm saying we have swept these highs. We have traded inside the 1 hour fair value gap to the 25% of the opening range. Still, the sell side looks nice, but... So where would I do my profit taking? I'm thinking. Maybe I'll try to reach for this sell side liquidity. I'm not sure if that's too much to ask for. Let's see. We're again trading inside the 5-minute fair value gap. I would really like the market drop down here. I'm thinking that if I maybe want to just strike for 20 handles, because really it might just reprice this fair value gap and go higher. And I don't like this reaction. I mean, it's still just a few seconds, but I'm not sure. I should probably for sure exit something. Hard thinking right now, hard thinking. I'll try to wait. And maybe I will trail my stop loss. I can't. I'll probably just close 20. Yeah, I'm just going to trail my stop loss. If it runs now, good. If it doesn't, I'm fine with it. I just don't want to strike for really like huge trades. Even though it makes sense that it goes here, but I'm just worried about this 5-minute fair value gap and we are in all-time highs and I went for shorts. I'm not really that confident in a short. I would rather be in a long. But I had the setup, I had some confluences behind it. It is still a good trade. It immediately gave us opportunity and went straight into profits. But I'm worried about this. And I'm not sure if I can demand the fair value gap, the sell side liquidity. But let's see if we can get that. Let me show my executions. So hopefully I got the 20 handles. So we entered on 527, 527, 10 handles, stop loss, no drawdown, really nice. And we exited at 0825, 0825, so 18.75 handles. So basically I tried to exit at the end of this fair value gap. So we have traded inside this 1 minute, which still looks really good, really fine. And I was trying to target this sell side liquidity. I'm still favoring it. but we can never know what the market will do inside this kind of range. It was also ranging for a lot until it really started moving. And after a move like this on the 4-hour chart, we can see we're sweeping these lows and now has immediate reaction to the upside, taking the buy side liquidity. It went down again to the volume imbalance. And to really think we are going to be bearish today, I just don't want to demand a lot from the market. So I will just rather take a small piece and be content with it. It went back, repriced the 5-minute fair value gap again, maybe in terms of a inversion fair value gap, seeing how it really ended at the top of that fair value gap and went lower and made a new lower low. ES is actually really close to the sell side liquidity as well, but I would be really not that happy seeing the market just retrace all the time and just go back and back. And then seeing these candles, how they close at the bottom of the fair value gap, it still doesn't that much invalidates it. And maybe we will see the market going to the upside from this point. I'm not sure. But still, the trade looks fine. The trade idea, let's say. And let's see if the market, if it does go down here, if there was any potential going long. But for now, I'm going to check the account. So today we have made 182 USD. So still making profits. So far, every single day we have made profits. So that's really good. And let's see how the trade idea would pan out if I would let the trade run. But this would really demand a lot of patience and not be maybe trailing my stop loss at all, because I would maybe get stopped out if I would maybe trail it here or somewhere, as here is a fair value gap and the 5-minute fair value gap, and maybe trail it here, and let's see if the market goes maybe up here and could potentially even stop me. I'm not sure. But also, as this is the last day of the week, if I can get something, I'm really happy for it. And I can end the week on a positive as well. Also considering what I've done for the past weeks. The first week on my YouTube channel is really good. The second week was a disaster. So I'm just coming back with my balance with the account. I'm just trying to crawl back where I was. And let's see where I can get it. So I really like how the candle here closed below also the midpoint of these candles. But seeing how it goes back up and sweeping this high, that is really not nice. And maybe respect this order block. There's also a 5-minute fair value gap here. I would really not like this movement to the upside. I would be really worried about that. So I'm glad that I exited, because this is really a lot of back and forth. Looking at the wicks, it's not nice. It is now trading just inside this range. And I think as it stopped and it didn't go for the sell side liquidity, it can easily just go the opposite side. Looking at the lows with ES, it seems to be the same. There's no SMT yet. I'm not saying that we are already going higher, but it's just at the place where I'm not confident in either side. But as I had a model for a sell side liquidity, I'm still reviewing the market if it goes down. And in my opinion, if the market goes, there is a 5-minute fair value gap that I was noting. And probably if the market goes above somewhere here, I think that invalidates the trade idea. At least for me. That I would not want to be in that position anymore. So I think my exit was actually really good. I could have maybe, I don't know, 7 handles more, but I'm glad that I have something. So yeah, this probably invalidates the trade as we have a displacement here. There is probably forming a 30-second fair value gap also on the upside. But this is really not my model. I would not want to be in a long here. I'm not sure if it's just going to reprice. Maybe sweep these highs now. I'm not sure, but this is strong movement. So yeah, this went even above my entry. So I'm really happy with my exit actually. That was really nice. Going back again to the opening. Range gap. And also the 1 hour fair value gap. So as I said, on NQ, these highs look a bit different. Because on NQ, these highs have not been taken. So I'm reviewing a micro contract, so it's kind of different in terms of a few ticks. But I think the one on NQ I should be considering more. So I will be still considering that there is a liquidity pool here that hasn't been taken out. So the market can probably come back here. But for now, I'm really not sure what the market is doing. This is really not even that much of a range. Just 45 handles back and forth. Also here, a consolidation, then down here. But I was identifying this 5-minute fair value gap. I'm glad that I exited. I would be already, even with my stop loss, I would be stopped out. So if I wouldn't do this, that I exited the position, even less than 20 handles, which I always try to go for, I would not be able to take something off. And I'm really happy with the exit. So for now, I'm just still reviewing what's happening. We can probably expect the market go higher. But I'm not sure if still it will respect this 1 hour fair value gap. For now, I'll just review the price. If I see anything notable, I will mention it. But for now, let's just review what's happening. So looking at the market right now, I'm not really sure if we will have any bearish movement. Basically, how I even highlighted this gap, I was thinking that this really just might be an area where the market will reprice maybe to the midpoint and reach higher. Even though I was trying to favor some shorts based on the 1 hour fair value gap that I was highlighting here, I was thinking we will be bearish. Also, these highs were taken out here, but I'm not really seeing that the market really wants to go down. Oh, sorry. I'm seeing that we are really strongly bullish right now. That's also why I was noting the 5-minute fair value gap here and also exiting my position, just so I was not really, let's say, I wasn't really favoring if it started slowing down in here, that it will drop here. And as we can see, it really respected the fair value gap, just went down a little bit and then had the opposite directional move, then had a big displacement, then traded back in this PC just a tiny bit, and then immediately going for these highs deeper in this 1 hour fair value gap. And I think we are going to draw to here. We also traded inside the 50% of the opening range. We're also coming close to the opening range gap high over here. On ES, I can see we have not yet swept the highs. I'm going to show it right here. So we have not yet swept these highs, and we have SMT still over here. It traded back to the midpoint of the 1 hour fair value gap, but still not sweeping these highs. So I'm not sure if there is still possibility to favor the shorts. There is a fair value gap. I will try to note it, but as I said, I'm really not that confident in this direction. I'm not going to enter any more trades. I'm really happy with what I have done today. So 551.25. 0.25 until 275. So here, very small fair value gap, very small. So let's see if the market will go inside and maybe have an opportunity to go down. I'm not sure. So far, it didn't even trade it in. So it's now going lower. I was thinking that it would at least come back again, because it seems that it's at the same price level as the midpoint of the 1 hour fair value gap, which would be really nice. I mean, it can still just retrace and go inside, but also noting, I'm going to delete this one. Also noting here is a 1 minute fair value gap as well, BC. So if the market is bullish, it will probably respect this fair value gap. So that's something to be careful about. And I'm seeing it respects the 50%. There is also a 30-second fair value gap right here where we just traded. But I think that's too low for me, at least. That's too low for me, so I would not trade this one. I would still try to demand the higher one based on my rules. But so far we didn't get it yet. And it starts to go down quite a lot. So if it goes somewhere around the 20 handle mark, that already invalidates my trade. But still it closed inside the 1 minute fair value gap. So still I'm not trying to pick any side yet. Also going back to the opening range and also to the volume imbalance. Looking at the volume imbalance, actually, the midpoint. So we were trading in the midpoint of the volume imbalance on the daily chart. And we were almost respecting the 50%. I think that was something that I should be taking a note of. But still it goes down. I think now it invalidates my trade over here. So yeah, it's already 22. I think this BC would be the first target, or probably this low. How much is this low? 25. But I didn't get the opportunity, so unfortunately I wouldn't be in this trade. So this already I can just remove. I was saying here was a fair value gap, but as I said, it was too low for me to use it. Now we are also trading down to the low of the 1 hour fair value gap. We touched again the 1 minute fair value gap here, the BC. Also, we are again at the top of the volume imbalance on the daily chart. It's in such a price range, which I don't really like that much. So we are also trading inside this 1 minute. There are just gaps everywhere. And it's not really easy for me to say what's going to happen. And seeing how it also reacts at certain levels, the volume imbalance, the 1 hour fair value gap, 50% of the range. There are just many things which are really tough for me to read and build a narrative. I'm not sure if I will even keep reviewing the markets that long today. Let's see what we can expect from the market to do. So it now draws almost to the 30-second fair value gap, and here is also the 1 minute. I think at this same place was the 30-second, but that is already invalidated by this move that it already ran. Even though it has reaction already, and I was saying that I would like the market from this point on to come back at least, because it's also the midpoint of the 1 hour fair value gap, but we didn't get it. So I think this touch would not even fill me in. I think when I look at the chart, it made the high made the same tick as was the low of the fair value gap. So potentially it can be filled, but you can maybe consider it would not be. Sometimes you get filled on those same tick, but it's not guaranteed. But looking at the market, what it was doing, we went up, did some consolidation over here back and forth, swept the lows, and then immediately went higher. So maybe we will just see some retracement, and then again it will continue going higher. But I'm not sure. So we are now seeing quite big bearish candles. I'm still trading inside this 1 minute BC. And coming back down also to the 5 minute fair value gap, where we can again have a reaction that it will continue going higher. ES is following. It has very similar price action as NQ, just that there is SMT on the highs. Where if there is a SMT on the highs, it should tell you that we can expect the market to go down, or at least it will favor, can give you a confirmation to favor the shorts. But in such conditions, it's tough. We can see how the market repriced this fair value gap and immediately rejected and went higher, and also touched the 5 minute just barely. There is also 1 minute fair value gap here, and again the 1 hour is just still standing around this area. I just don't like it at all. Don't like it. Respecting the midpoint of this 1 minute fair value gap. Also touching again the opening range gap. To be honest, I would like to see the market drop down for the sell side liquidity. But that's something that I would want. I don't think I can demand that from the market. And also I'm trying to favor shorts in a scenario where we are strongly bullish, making all-time highs. And it's not probably the correct direction I would have to favor. There was a small fair value gap somewhere around this area. Once we have swept these lows, maybe that one could be used for going higher. We didn't get much of a SMT, so I'm not sure if I would try to do something like that. But I mean, there is opportunity here. I will probably review the market until 10:30 just to see which direction it went. So it digs deep again to the 5-minute fair value gap. It's coming back down here several times. This is the fourth time. Once here, second time here, third time here, and again here. Traded again to the midpoint. I'm not sure if it just tells us that we are trying to get lower, just have some kind of retracements still to this 1 hour fair value gap, and it wants to go down. I think on ES we have made the same low as this one. So ES is also having very similar price action. So I'm still kind of leaning that we might drop down here. So ES made a new lower low. It took out this low. Not really that much strong movement. So let's see if we could see the market drop to this sell side liquidity. I would really think based on how ES is repricing, we have made the same low of this one as I was saying, and we are really close to these liquidity pools. I really think we will see the market drop down here. So I'm just waiting for it to happen. I would really like to see the market disrespect this fair value gap already and just drop down. But also to note, we are again at the midpoint, almost at the midpoint of the volume imbalance. I would really want to see the market just take the sell side liquidity. And again, it has reaction from the midpoint of this 5-minute fair value gap, reaching higher. We have SMT on these lows. And immediately it goes higher again. Almost 20 handles. Probably coming back again to the 1 hour fair value gap, but I'm not sure if we will see the market going to the buy side. We will need to still see. I will probably leave the recording still longer, just so we can have basically the outcome of the market. I was thinking that we would see the sell side liquidity being swept at least at 11, but seeing how it just retraces higher and higher, I'm not sure what the market will do. The ES is just making lower lows all the time, whereas NQ is making higher lows and is reaching higher and higher. I'm not really sure what's going to happen anymore, and I'm not going to sit in front of the charts anymore because it's just not doing what I want. It's consolidating a lot, and it just might take the sell side liquidity maybe at 1. Maybe it will go up again for this high, and then it will reach for the sell side liquidity. That's very much possible based on today's conditions. It's really bad. I'm glad I put myself in a position quite early in this price leg, and I exited immediately at 20 handles. So I'm satisfied with today, and I'm glad that I wasn't involved in any of this price range where I wouldn't be able to take anything, basically. So with that being said, I ended the day on a positive. We were able to take $182. So we have a profitable week with no losses, which is really nice. So now we have weekend, we can take a rest and prepare for the next upcoming week. So hopefully for other people also the trading was really good. You ended also on a positive, and hopefully the performance will get just better and better each day. So thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, anything on your mind, and I will see you in the next trading session.